In this video, we're going to be walking you through the pastor's guide to social media. So make sure that you stick around all the way to the end because I'm going to be showing you the single most powerful search engine on the planet that your church can be using to draw in new visitors to your Sunday morning services, and it's not Google. So let's dive in. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. If we're meeting for the first time, I have been in ministry for the last 19 years, and I've helped thousands of churches around the country use digital, social media, and technology to reach more people for Jesus. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the pastor's guide to social media, and we'll break down the 4 platforms that your church needs to be on in order to attract new families and reach the next generation, including one platform that has single-handedly brought in over 7,000 new visitors to churches around the U.S. in just the last 18 months. So let's dive in. All right, so the first platform that your church needs to be on is Google. And I think most churches know this when they first start out, but it's really hard to figure out how do I actually get my church on page 1 of Google, right? Because 91% of people never go past page 1 of Google. So you have to figure out how to get on that first page, and there is no step-by-step that Google gives you on how to do that. In fact, there's an old web designer joke that says, where's the best place to hide a dead body? On page 2 of your Google results. If 91% of people are never going to go past page 1, then we have to figure out how to show up there. So here are 2 simple tips on how to use Google in order to attract new visitors to your Sunday services. The first one is local search engine optimization. Now, honestly, diving in and figuring out all the ins and outs of local SEO is really complicated, right? Because you have global SEO versus local SEO, right? And the one that you want to focus on as a church is local because you don't care if people all over the country are finding your church. You just want to make sure the people who live within driving distance are finding your church. So the best way to do this without diving in and learning hundreds of hours of SEO techniques is simply to go to moz.com/local. That's moz.com/local. And I actually did this for my church several years ago because what they do is you can get signed up, and in about 15 minutes, you can type in some real basic information about your church, and they will automatically send that out to the top 4 data aggregators that determine your local SEO. So all in all, they'll put this through somewhere around 15 or 16 different local search engine optimization platforms, and it's immediately going to skyrocket you up the Google rankings. In fact, when I did this for my church several years ago, what happens is it just kind of keeps snowballing year after year, kind of like compound interest, but in the SEO world. So the cool thing is, just a couple weeks ago, I actually got a text message that over 42,000 people found my church website on Google because of our local SEO. And that was something I set up years ago. So this can pay dividends if you just go in and set this up one time. The second way that you can use Google is through a Google ad grant. Now, I'm a huge fan of this because it's absolutely free. And believe it or not, Google will give you $10,000 a month in free Google AdWords if you simply apply for the program. And I know people will just say, what's the catch? Well, it can't actually be $10,000. But it really is. It's legitimately $10,000 a month in free Google AdWords, and they'll give it to anyone who has a 501(c) nonprofit status, right? The reason is it's a tax write-off for them. So you can legitimately have $10,000 a month, $120,000 a year in free Google AdWords that you can use to tell people about the life-changing message of Jesus. And you can use those ads to send people to your church website. So when I first got my church approved for the Google grant, we immediately started sending an additional 6,000 to 8,000 people per month from Google to our church website. It doesn't actually cost us anything. So all you have to do is just go to Google and literally type in Google Ad Grant, and Google will walk you through the process for applying for this grant. And the cool thing is this is a lifetime grant. So once you apply for this, if you get approved, you will have it for the rest of life as long as you follow a couple of guidelines that they have on the Google website. So make sure to go to moz.com/local in order to get your search engine optimization on point, and then go over and apply for a Google grant so you can literally start using Google's money to tell people about Jesus. Okay, number 2, Facebook. Now, if you guys have watched any of my videos in the past, you know that I am a huge fan of Facebook, and it's probably not for the reasons that you're thinking, right? Now, I don't really care about Facebook as a company or any of their political beliefs or anything like that. I don't even care about using Facebook on a personal level. The reason I love Facebook is because there are 2.7 billion people on Facebook, and 1.8 billion log in every single day. So that makes Facebook the single largest missions field the church has ever seen. shocking, right? Think about it. Never before in human history have we ever had a way to reach so many people for Jesus so easily. You could literally set up a Facebook ad right now in the next 10 minutes and immediately be reaching people all over your city like that. So I'm a huge fan of Facebook because it allows us to be able to reach people for Jesus. And if your church happens to be trying to reach young families with kids, well, you're in luck because the single largest age demographic on Facebook are people ages 25 to 34. So if you're trying to reach those young families with elementary school age kids, over a third of the people on Facebook are between the ages of 25 and 34. Now, here's the deal. Whenever you post on Facebook, right now, organic reach is down. So if you post on your church Facebook page about your baptisms and baby dedications, Facebook is only going to show that to about 3% of the people that like your page. Now, I know that's kind of shocking. It's actually really depressing if you're hearing it for the first time, but no big deal. It's important to understand. So if you have 1,000 likes on your Facebook page and you post about your baptisms and baby dedication service coming up, out of those 1,000 people, Facebook is only going to show it to about 30 of those people. Then if those people start to like, comment, and share that post, they'll start showing it to a few more people. So they might actually show it to 40, 50, 60, or 70 people. But that's still a lot of people that you're missing out on. So the best way to do this is either to boost a post to make sure that it's going to get to more people who like your page, or you can do what my favorite is, and you can set up a targeted Facebook ad. And you do this by going to facebook.com/ads manager. Now, we have lots of other videos that outline exact strategies on how to create different types of Facebook ads and how to get people to go to your website or into Facebook Messenger and plan a visit to your church. So we're not going to cover that here, but just know that this is one of the single most powerful ways that you can attract new visitors every single Sunday. Okay, so before I get to my last two platforms, I want to hear from you, right? What has your experience been with social media? What has worked? What hasn't worked? Post in the comments below. I want to read every single one. And if you have any questions on any of these platforms, make sure to post them in the comments and I will respond to every single one. All right, platform number 3, Instagram. Now, here's the cool thing. Facebook has 2.7 billion people, but Instagram has another 1 billion people. And one of the coolest things about Instagram is that this is huge with the millennial demographic. In fact, one of the ways that millennials actually get ready in the morning, believe it or not, is they will actually wake up in the morning, grab their phone, and they will prop it up against the mirror. And literally, they will just click on Instagram stories and let it run while they're getting ready in the morning. So here they are doing their hair, doing their makeup, brushing their teeth, getting ready for the day, and they're just letting Instagram stories play in the background the whole time. Now, that sounds crazy, and honestly, I wasn't sure when I first heard that. So I started asking a bunch of people in my church, a bunch of different millennials, and I was shocked at how many millennials get ready this way, right? And not just like young single people, I'm talking about like, married young families with kids. This is how they get ready in the morning. They're listening to Instagram stories in the bathroom while they get ready. So it's really, really important to make sure that your church is not only showing up on Instagram, but also showing up on Instagram stories, because this is a great way to reach the next generation. Now, some other really interesting ways to use Instagram is posting on your regular feed. You can also post sermon clips to IGTV, and you can even create Instagram ads. Now, an important thing to note is that you actually don't create Instagram ads on Instagram, because Facebook owns Instagram. You actually need to go to the Facebook Ads Manager in order to set up an Instagram ad. I know, a little bit confusing, but if you simply go to facebook.com/ads manager, you can set up a Facebook ad and you can set it to run on Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, or the Audience Network, or you can set it up on all four. So you'll set up an Instagram ad inside of the Facebook Ads Manager, and you can choose if you want to run that ad inside of Instagram Stories, your Instagram feed, or both. So really, really cool way to use Instagram. So we talked about Google and how to increase your SEO and get on page 1 of Google. We talked about the Google Grant and how to get $10,000 a month in free Google AdWords. We talked about Facebook and how powerful Facebook ads can be. In fact, Facebook ads alone have helped bring in over 7,000 planner visits for churches just in the last 18 months. And then we talked about Instagram and some of the ways that you can use Instagram in order to reach the next generation and invite new people to your church. So at the beginning of this video, I told you I was going to teach you about a search engine that was one of the most important things you could do in order to reach the next generation, and it wasn't Google. Well, it is YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, second only to Google, and it's owned by Google. In fact, YouTube is actually bigger than Yahoo, Bing, and every other search engine combined, and it's growing at twice the rate of Facebook. In fact, 95% of Generation Z spends at least an hour a day on YouTube. So this is a great way to be able to reach millennials and Gen Z and every other generation that's going to come after them, because it's only going to continue to grow and continue to be important. Now, one of the cool things about YouTube is that whenever you post on Facebook or Instagram or any other type of social media platform, that post basically spikes for 1 or 2 days and then kind of drops off and completely dies, right? So even if a post goes viral, it's only for a couple of days and then it completely dies. But the cool thing is on YouTube, it's the exact opposite. Because it's a search engine, the longer your content lives on YouTube, the easier it's going to be for people to find it. And eventually YouTube will start introducing that content to people who like it. So on Facebook and Instagram, your post dies after 1 to 2 days, but on YouTube, the longer it lives, the more people it gets shown to. Pretty darn cool. Now, some of the ways that you can use YouTube is by uploading your sermon every single week to there, which a lot of you are probably already doing, but you can also upload your announcement videos or your sermon bumpers, or one of my personal favorites, you can actually create a plan your visit video and give people a tour of the church and then post it on YouTube, right? So this is really, really powerful. In fact, I did this a couple of years ago for my church, and that video now has well over 150,000 views. So whenever you're looking at YouTube, make sure to think past just uploading your sermons and think about maybe uploading your announcement videos, your sermon bumper videos, and definitely consider creating a plan your visit tour of the church. Okay, so we just walked through the Pastor's Guide to Social Media, and we talked about the 4 platforms that your church needs to be on in order to attract new families and reach the next generation. But if you want to learn some specific Facebook ad strategies in order to start attracting new visitors as quickly as this Sunday, go over to churchgrowthagency.com or simply click on the link in the description below, and we have a free training video that'll show you how to use Facebook ads to attract new visitors this Sunday. We'll see you soon.